like this, right? Right? And then I'm kind of weak now, but... God damn it! Fuck this shit, man! Man, are you kidding me?
Good morning, everybody. It is Taco Tuesday. It is just coming on 5 a.m. over there on the East Coast, February 25. And today, before the opening bell, we have Home Depot. We're going to be reporting. After the close, not really anything of any interest. I remember watching the Kava IPO day. Was pretty interesting, but didn't move. AMC, oh, well, if you live in the past, you want to watch the AMC earnings. Tomorrow, Lowe's, but again, the highlight of the week is tomorrow after the close, that being NVIDIA reporting their earnings. And I will remind you that we are inside of the new moon, not the full moon, the new moon window. We are in it with February 27th, that being on Thursday, the actual new moon. So the window is open. The window is open all through this week into the early beginning of next week. And, considering where we're at right now with futures having another little dip overnight because you cannot get any kind of support over on the NASDAQ. The range overnight has been 5964 to 6,000, was looking okay. And then all of a sudden, the shoes started to fall off. Again, that's your earnings, but I will make this as quick as possible because I want to get some stuff done on my side. So I am actually starting out here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I've given more than enough warnings about the $100,000 level, having surpassed all breakout levels. If you didn't sell at or above 100,000 and you're holding on, well, I got some pretty shitty bad news for you, and whether you like it or not, that's what it is. I posted over there in the Bitcoin room, 88,213, 87,677. That's your downside first pivot. After that, you're looking at 84,891. The Trump gap, 77,10, 74,415, and then 69,209. And no, 69,209 is not the bottom. It is simply the downside view as of now. Bring you on to that big, broad, wide view so that you can understand and see where you are. You have had your perfect wave 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the big cycle 5. And your downside moves, should you get down into below that 74,415, that is where the oh shit will start beginning over there on Bitcoin. Your bigger, broader, wider view on that, just the same as what took place over here on the double top of cycle 3 with the big ABC. Your A, your B, and your C down here, down into 14,000, coming off of 65,000. You lose 74.15. You are praying and hoping that 50% decline down at 55,075 saves you. Because if it doesn't save you, sorry, but you're heading back down to that 43, 33, 20,000 level. And you can hodl all the Bitcoin you want. It is not going to help you. So again, if you got Bitcoin and you're thinking, well, I'll just hold on and wait for a bounce.
Come closer. What is the sound of one hand clapping?
I don't know. What is the sound of one?
Best of luck to you. The NASDAQ is where I'm bringing you next because this is the entire stock market. Whether you like it or not, that's what it is. Sharing you here on the view, the RSI, which I've already warned about, which is being the RSI, the 4-hour. Now, you got to kind of remember, right, there's 240 one-minute candles in a 4-hour candle. So looking for this to make a microwavable bounce and change everything, DEI has been debunked. So dumb equity investors, that shit ended prior to Trump taking office. We're back to real trading here. So again, on your 4-hour, yes, you are extremely oversold. Come on onto your daily. Don't want to leave off this too fast, but I will come back to it. Come onto your daily, and your daily is not yet oversold, but you are coming pretty damn close to it. So your downside move on the NASDAQ, we are looking around that 21,000, right on down here to roughly around 21,000 plus or minus 100 points. That's what the NDX should be looking for right around the 2024 close. Go ahead and delete what's taken place in 2025, and that is where we should wind up seeing a support. Come over onto the wide view. I'll get onto that QQQ in a minute, but again, on Wednesday, this is what you're looking at, NVIDIA. After the market close, NVIDIA reporting, and NVIDIA will determine whether or not you get to go and eat at a beautiful steakhouse or you're going to McDonald's drive-thru. NVIDIA reporting earnings after the market closes on Wednesday has an enormous impact on everybody. As of right here, down here at 130, where we are right now, having gapped down just fractionally from where I was looking on the 1-minute chart, where it's down at, no, it's not. It's hanging right there, right around 129. Again, on NVIDIA, wait for earnings. Wait for earnings because eventually, whether you like it or not, eventually NVIDIA is heading down below this 91 level, down into the 70s, down into the 50s, just like AMD, just like SMCI. So I can leave you from this and bring you over onto our SPX. And yesterday, boom, 60.45. God, there was an enormous number of warnings that were going out about 60.45, how we were there all night long, and you could see that there was big trouble over on the NASDAQ. And immediately, right after the opening bell, just collapsed. And collapsed down into 10.07. Right into that 9:50, 10 o'clock algo level. And boom, got your bottom. Again, scaring everybody out for the shake. And as we threw out there for the calculation for the never forget, plus 1% being right there, 60, 37, 61. Number of you took off your calls. Number of you took off your bullish put credit spreads on using that 6010 6009 or 6010 6005. And right here in right in white is where I thought I was safe to be able to go and enjoy a meal with my family, check on my father-in-law, see how things were going. And right here in orange was when Trump began to speak. And right there, right around 3:15, 3:18, Trump says, tariffs on Canada and Mexico will go forward. And that was where you said, done. Listen, I didn't want Joe Biden or Kamala Harris as president. I like Trump. But you are going to have to deal with the fact that now the stock market is subject to every time this guy makes a comment. So when he speaks, you got to be paying attention, and you don't know when he's going to be speaking, even though this was scheduled. So again, coming over onto the bigger, broader, wider view, where have we made it to? The view on this very cleanly is an ABC. For now, it very well could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I'll show you in a couple of minutes on the NDX, but you are coming down roughly to that 59.71, your retracement down to the September lows. You're still holding above the February lows. The February open is being threatened for the February candle, which we're actually negative on right now. And then you have going down further your 23.6 retracement to the August lows. For now, holding steadily, only waiting for the NASDAQ itself. Come over onto the ES and looking at the ES, which I updated before ending the day this morning. Wanted to see that 61,170 or 6170. Just missed it by a couple of points on the highs last week on Friday, Thursday. But boom, looking for that breakdown to the 6100, down to 6020. It worked until yesterday and it fell out. And right here in blue, I am not a trend line guy. I am not. And the trend line that you are on at the moment, touching on the trend line right now, is your trend line coming off of your August lows down to your lows here in January. That's the trend line that's being touched at the moment. In red, what you have here is your bigger, broader, wider trend line coming off of the Israel invades Gaza October 27th lows, going down here to your August low. So again, I am not a trend line guy, but those are the trend lines that you are looking at right now, and magically they are going to come into play as we were coming down here virtually on the double bottom of DeepSeek, the double bottom of the tariffs, and we're right here again. So yes, obviously we are coming down onto support. Over on the SPX on the 4-hour view, again, getting into extreme oversold, not oversold, getting into oversold. Which brings you over to your NASDAQ and your QQQ. And your QQQ, again, with a clean looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, all looks appropriate that we are hunting a bottom. So in that hunting of a bottom, what we're looking at here on this downward move is for a move down here into, boom, finding somewhere over here in this 518, 515 region, a bounce, which times out very nicely with NVIDIA coming here and reporting earnings. And then we will figure out whether or not this is all of wave 2 from the bullish perspective, or you got your bounce, you get your little red circle for your new moon, and then we get our C wave to the downside, which will be a lot further and a lot more aggressive, because as of right now, looking at this just from a zoomed in view, you had a 9-point drop on your first move down. You had a 15-point drop on your third wave down. And now this most recent wave where we are at, let's get back in here, has been a 10-point drop to the downside. So it does look like a very clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will see what we get once we get through the open and after we get through these 3 consecutive red closes. Looking over here on the Dow Jones, boom, not getting any kind of aggressiveness off of that. Over here on the IWM, you had your first big warning over here last week as the 50-day crossed below the 100-day moving average, and now we have broken down below the 200-day moving average, which is the big life safety, vehicle to pick everything up and save it. So we're touching down there. We're down there. We're very close to coming over here on the February low or the January 13th lows. Very, very close to it. But again, IWM is your little whisperer about the bigger, broader, wider view of things, that it's not all rosy for the upside. So again, that leaves you with that, and I will finish you off real quick before I let you go with boom, 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 where we're at, because boom, you have 3 red closes in a row. No, absolutely not. No, it is not illegal to get 4 red closes in a row. It's very rare, going all the way back to October of 2022, where we bottomed out after that 27% decline. It's very rare. It's happened 1, 2. It might have happened 3 times prior to the end of last year, where the end of last year, we went in from Christmas, 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row into the end of the year, and then again red right at the opening bell there on the first trading session of this year. I'll remind you again, 556 trading sessions going into the beginning of this year without a minus 20% decline. We are now at trading session 36 today, so we are coming very close to it being 600 trading sessions. 295 trading sessions since we had a minus 10% decline. Today being trading session number 36, we are well over 300 trading sessions since a minus 10% decline. Come over onto your QQQ, and again, 3 red closes in a row. Little bit of a warning sign. Go back over through IW or QQQ. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the end of last year into the very first day of this year. Another 3 right there after Jimmy Carter's funeral, where we hit our big bottom at 499.70. Go back up through all of last year. Here you go, right there in November, shortly after Trump won during OPEX week. 5 red closes in a row. Bang, 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 bang. Going nowhere with the big one coming there on November 15th, OPEX day. Again, not illegal to get 4 in a row. it's just not something that you see very often. And yesterday, what very few saw, the QQQ closed flat, closed at absolute zero, right where it opened, 519.87, right exactly where it closed. Didn't do anything. So where are we at? Yeah, IWM. 4 red closes in a row. Nothing big on the IWM, coming back to seeing streaks of 3, 4, anything like that. But as of right now, we are at the longest streak since November. Since November OPEX, where we had 4 red in a row. Don't really see 3 in a row over on the IWM, but we are right now at 4 in a row. And common sense, okay, common sense point of view on this is when you start seeing 3, 4 in a row, it's starting to scream and holler at you that you are probably oversold. And oversold is a lot easier to be bounced than getting overbought and having that produce a drop. Right now we're oversold. And looking over here on the NQ futures, NQ down 0.41%, 87 points, right at minus 5% from the all-time highs, right here at 21,327 on the NQ. You've got to get the NQ back up above 21,660, period, the end. 21,660, where the 50-day moving average is, coincidentally, right where your big bottom candle is over there going back to Friday. That's where you've got to get back to, 21,660. So from here, 21,330, it's a 300-point plus move to the upside that's required. Over on the YM, nothing really taking place. Over here on the IWM, the Russell 2000 RTY, nothing really taking place. The SPX, the ES, having been impacted, coming down at present, minus 3% from the all-time highs, because everything is in the NASDAQ. So earnings tomorrow night over there on the NVIDIA. And as we're looking over here, Google still selling down. Apple, the big surprise of Apple holding as hard as it can on that 246, 247. Facebook, right down to 660. McDonald's, look at that big bounce on McDonald's. Why is McDonald's going up and the market's going down? Because people put money into where they feel safe, things that are non-volatile. PLTR, got 87. Still looking for much lower on that. Tesla, again, little bounce, little gap up yesterday. Boom, boom, back down here to 325, 313. Big warning levels, but yes, very oversold. Amazon, minus 210, coming close to 200 where Jeff Bezos sells everything. And there's your NVIDIA. NVIDIA reporting earnings tomorrow after the close. That fake print perfectly visited right over there on the lows. And there's your Netflix down here below 1,000, over here at 900. So anyway, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your Tuesday, and don't forget to tip your waiters and waitresses as you leave the bar, because Taco Tuesdays are always a beautiful way to get through the beginning of the week, to know that the weekend is not far off.
'Cause it's Taco Tuesday.